What is it like to actually perform inside virtual reality?
You can get that can of sausage meat behind you.
Here, let me grab that for you. There you go.
Oh,
Some
thank
sausage
you.
meat.
Yes. Speaking of sausages,
Find out what these actors thought about their experience after the bump. Hello everybody, I'm Doug Fahl, your augmented actor, helping you augment your acting career with tips, tactics, and tech. If this is your first time here, please click on the subscribe button so that you can become an augmented actor yourself. In a previous video, I invited a group of actors down to Pluto VR in Seattle, Washington, and I put them inside virtual reality for the first time. We joined each other in the Pluto application and emulated several different scenarios that actors might find themselves in. Classes, auditions, performances, and rehearsals. You can watch the complete session by clicking on the link up above or down in the description below. In this video, I will talk to those actors about their experience using Pluto VR for acting. But first, let's find out what Pluto VR is all about.
Pluto is actually the name of a Roman god of the underworld, and he ruled over all the areas of the dead. You're welcome to come to the lands of Pluto, but not to leave. So when we were looking for a name for what this new communication service is going to do for people, we felt it would really transform people's world. It will transform humanity. The way that we are with each other is so dependent right now on physical distance. And when we can transcend that and just be with people, no matter where we are, that's transformational.
I sat down with Meredith Binder and Curtis Jacobsen. We talked about the strengths and weaknesses of using Pluto VR as a performance tool. Let's take a look. You guys just did a VR experience. Have you ever done VR before?
Never. I don't even play video games.
I'm in the same boat. I've never done the virtual reality, and Atari is the only video gaming I know.
Really, that far back?
Yeah.
How did you find the experience of acclimating to VR?
It was really fun. I mean, a couple hours I didn't actually acclimate, but I could see where in a few more hours I would be adept enough to actually make use of it as an actor. So that was really exciting.
It was very easy for me to navigate, and once I was in the world, it was exciting. Maybe as an actor, I loved the experience.
Yeah.
Just for what it was.
Well, you were even moving. You could even get your hands to shape.
Yeah, I was trying.
That was something I didn't couldn't figure out.
just practicing, because I use my hands a lot, so I figured
Yeah.
I should probably get that down. Maybe I can't see myself.
Right.
Maybe I have a mirror that I can see what I'm doing and looking, but because I don't know if I was doing this the whole time.
Making butterfly hands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, but I think with a little bit of work, I could really get it down.
Actors, we tried doing a rehearsal, an audition, improv scene, different kinds of scenarios that actors could go in. What felt good to you as an actor? What felt missing as an actor?
I felt that it was I connected right away with the other actors, just hearing their voices, seeing their avatars, and I felt like I was kind of in the same space.
You had a sense of presence.
Yes.
When you can see other people in 3D, it's very similar to being with them in person, even if they're not there with you, and even if you can't see everything about them. You can't necessarily hug them yet, you can't smell them, you can't feel them, but you can see them in such a clear spatial way, and you can hear them. You can hear where they are around you. And together, these senses of sight and sound really do give you a feeling of presence.
But you have the spatial orientation too, which was really nice since we were a group of three, to kind of know you're at my left, you're at my right, and we're in this making this sort of shape. That added a lot of reality that a flat screen can't add.
We're three here. I can point at Curtis is always over there. You're always over here.
Yeah.
And if we moved around the room, Pluto will just sort of always kind of put us in a circle.
What if I do this? I want to tell you a secret. Can you tell? Okay, I think that this is working, but
Yeah, they need to work
Yeah,
on
so
it.
I'll tell you a secret over here, and it's really close in your ear. And if I come up to you, I can tell you a secret over here, and it's personal. It feels like you're cheek to cheek. It's almost invasive at some point.
And did the experience of performing in front of other actors in that space feel similar to how it does in real life?
I felt the same, but I also felt a little more calm because I knew you were right there and we had somebody to talk to and perform for, but I knew they were a little bit removed, so I felt a little more calm and...
Like you couldn't reach out and touch the other actor. You could be in the same physical space with them, but you knew that they weren't really there. They were like a ghost.
Right.
And did that give you comfort? Do you think that if the other actors were more realistic looking, that you would feel like you do it in real life?
Yeah, if it was more tactical, more of a body, I think so. But I did feel a presence, and it was great. And I did feel connected to everybody.
It does help to have people, and like if you'll notice that as I get up close to you, I'm getting into your personal space. It really feels like that. Same thing here. I'm like we're getting intimate.
So good to see you.
Exactly.
Let me touch up your hair.
It would be great to be able to form the face of the avatar from a picture, and it would be great to have it move a little more. The eyes were amazing, though.
Because about me as a character actor, it's all about my face.
Right.
And a little more lifelike. I don't think you could judge me accurately from my avatar.
So I see your eyes move an awful lot and blink and so on, and it adds a lot of expression. So is that coming from him, or is that just...
The software is designed to listen to what's being said and express it through the lips, and the eyes sort of just naturally blink and look based on where your head's tilted, and little subtle cues make that.
So much from people's eyes, and like when he looked down or he looked up, okay, he's not quite sure about what to say after that last comment that Doug made, and then he turns his eyes and looks at me, and it's like, okay, he cares that my cat is sick or whatever we were doing at the time.
This is Duchess.
Hi, Duchess.
Hey, Duchess. Well, thank you so much for coming in today. We really want to help your cat. What are the issues?
She's got a bad heart. They did an ultrasound, and I need to get some blood thinner for her.
Let me take Duchess. Is she okay?
Oh, sure. Well, okay. Careful.
Oh,
She really doesn't like anybody but me.
She's a frisky little cat.
Duchess. We
You're trained. If you can help him out,
scratch under the chin.
Oh, yes, there we go.
Okay, you know what you're doing.
The eyes were great, and his ability to use the hands were great. That added a lot. And as you had pointed out, you can kind of get a sense of somebody slumping by the angle of their head and the relation between the head and the hands. So that's all great, but it'd be great to just get a little more facial expression.
Yeah, the micro expressions are totally missing. The crinkles of the eyes. When you smile or laugh, it's just like, I know that Pluto's working on developing the avatar system to do the things that we're talking about more and more. And
that's great.
I can imagine, based on other VR experiences, how detailed these things will get eventually. And the thing that you said about the eyes, which is interesting, is that they're sort of just randomized gestures now in the avatars.
Oh, really?
I mean, there's nothing like Curtis can be looking over here. It's not tracking his eyes, although that's certainly a capability of VR coming down the line, where it'll like see where you're looking in and where you're gesturing. But right now, their avatars are just so expressive in their own right that they kind of just take the way the voice sounds and add in the elements that it would expect from that. So that's really interesting observation. What we're talking about using this product for actors, and you mentioned earlier that you would find this useful. You see how it's potentially good for actors. So where do you see what needs to happen in order to make this a functional thing that you might use? Provided you have the equipment in the VR headset already, what would get actors using this?
I don't know. I can't speak for all actors, but for me, if we could get the authenticity in the face and the voice, that's really all I need, to want to use this. Particularly, I take an ongoing scene study class. If you can't meet physically to work with your scene partners, it would be really great to be able to fill in the rehearsals we can't make together with the VR rehearsals. Sometimes we try over FaceTime or Skype, and it's not the flatness. Just there's something about the flat that just you can't get beyond that.
Spatial computing is interesting because it is going to completely reshape our society. And this isn't just some like, oh, it's going to change the world like the Segway. This is actually going to make all of computers and interaction human-centered and world-centered. It's going to do things that we don't even realize, like screens. This concept of a 2D screen in physical space to like put pixels on a screen is going to go away. They're just going to go away because once you can have the ability to like project a digital screen anywhere, to any size, to any resolution, wherever you want it instantly without requiring any physical movement, of course we're going to start doing that.
I would also think of using it for auditions when I audition people, because I'd like to be in the play space with them. Instead of just saying, now try it like this or that. When we're on Skype, I'd like to be able to say, jump in as another scene partner and move around and see how that affects the actor, to see what this actor would be like to work with.
For you and make excuses. I can't be your public relations department any longer.
Let's try it again, and I want to see more anger on your face.
Okay. I'm sorry, Herbie. You're a very sweet guy, but as your wife, I'm all used up. I can't make you feel happy when you should feel lousy. I can't cover for you and make excuses. I can't be your public relations department any longer.
Good job. Good job. Yeah, we're applauding without sound.
I did like the sense of camaraderie of being in the room. It'd be a great meet and greet place to go and say, oh, we're got casting this show together. Hi, I'm Kurt. And we could kind of play around and meet each other and talk. But I think in a real life, as an actor, a real world rehearsal, I don't think at this time would work because you can't see your facial expressions. Mm-hmm. But you can, it's a great place to talk to people.
It might be a place to run lines with each other, work out your blocking. What did we do in this thing? Where do we enter from? That kind of
Absolutely.
stuff.
Yes. And it'd be great. Let's say if you couldn't make it to a rehearsal, you could
show me the choreography.
Show me the choreography and run through it. Because you do feel like you're right there. It does put you, the virtual reality of it takes you off of a flat screen into a 3D space. So that was great.
Let's look a little bit future thinking. Right now we're thinking this may not be as useful for like a theater actor. Even for an audition, you don't get the full nuance. You would have to see that person live auditioning or on tape to get a real sense of them. But if we look into the future of where theater and film might be going for actors, and there already are theater companies that are creating theatrical experiences inside virtual reality. And a virtual audience comes to the play and they have virtual props and virtual scenery and stuff like that. This might be a tool that could lend itself very well to rehearsals because that is what you're presenting to the audience is this avatar. Then how do you make that work? How do you act with that tool?
That would be a great experience. That would be
fun.
100% right on where we're at today to do a virtual, invite people to come to your virtual show.
Okay, you know what you're doing.
Okay, so Doug, go ahead and bring over the cat over here and put it on the table for me.
Great.
So there's Duchess. There you go, Duchess. I would like to put Duchess on a prune diet. Yeah, and I think that should thin the blood.
Duchess
that was
is fed prunes and she's now a healthy cat. The end.
That would be really
I'd want to go, and that'd be fun. Yeah, that would be a fun rehearsal, especially if the whole cast, everybody's just in their house.
Right.
Yeah.
You don't have to go to Redmond or to Issaquah. You can just hang out at home and do a whole show.
Yeah, and you could audition, rehearse, and perform it all from the comfort of your living room. The fun thing about that, too, is that you can do all kinds of special effects. You can throw in a set and change it on an instant. You can teleport to a different part of the stage, change costumes in an instant, all kinds of crazy things you could potentially do with virtual reality. And those are the kinds of things I want to explore more.
That'd be really fun.
I kind of felt like I was a puppet It was almost like being a puppeteer for my avatar.
The use of your
Yeah.
hands definitely felt like puppeteering.
Yes.
But you not being able to see the puppet that you're puppeteering was you asked for a mirror or you thought it would be nice to see yourself.
A rehearsal mirror.
I mentioned something about stage management, using Pluto as a stage management tool, behind the scenes tool, where actors can communicate while they're putting on a virtual show in another app.
If we were putting on a virtual performance in another virtual reality app, Pluto can be used to hide in the background like a stage management or a crew, and the actors can communicate with each other without being seen in the other virtual reality experience. So it's like it could be used as a stage management tool or a backstage tool. I can hide my hands, so my hands disappear. You can hide my avatar and I turn into a little talking ball. Do you see that?
Yeah. Oh, look at Jitter Doug.
So I'm just a
holding
little
you
ball
right now in my hand.
It'd be a great way to get notes. So everybody can just go home. Then everybody can log in, and the director could give you all the notes from that rehearsal. And
People could actually be there together, and you could check chemistry on the different personalities, not just from a read, because you've got them all together, and just have a conversation with all of them.
So overall, how was your experience? What did you come in expecting, and how did it live up to that?
I came in really excited about being in a new environment that could change quickly, and I could wander around in and look at things, and that was true. I was so excited about that I didn't work as much with the hands and so on as I might have.
just the visual of seeing each other and exploring the space, even though we were all in separate rooms.
We're all in different spaces too.
It was great. We spent all this time together, and then when we took off our masks and we're back to the real world, we're like, oh my gosh.
I'm alone.
Yeah, I went running out in the hall to find you guys because it was the weirdest experience to just lose you all of a
What
sudden.
are you feeling now?
At first it was like really lonely. Where are my friends? So I'm rushing to get off the headset so I can come in the hall and find you guys.
Yeah, it was almost like waking up from a dream.
Imagine if you're home alone one night, but you're not really alone. You have your friends nearby, whether it's a watch form factor or an eyeglasses form factor or what. If you can see and hear the form of your friends around you, you're not going to feel alone at home. And that's the kind of transformation that we hope that Pluto will bring to people.
So as you can see, our actors had a blast using Pluto VR for acting. Pluto is going to be a great tool for not only communication with each other, but also for actors in the coming years. So keep an eye on its development. Even if you're not an actor, tell me down in the comments below how you might find Pluto useful to you. And remember, if you want to watch the extended version of our complete session, click on the link up above. And if you want to watch more videos from Augmented Actor, click on the link over there. And remember to subscribe over there and hit that notification bell so that you can be notified of new content. Thanks again for joining me. We'll see you again soon.